It's epic! Or is it super? It's a review of the Epic Super Hybrid. Let's check this out. Welcome back to the Make Golf Fitting Room, and we are doing a review on the Epic Super Hybrid. Now, you've seen it around, it's been floating around the internet for a bit now, and basically Callaway is saying that it is a hybrid with the DNA of a driver. Now, I think we've heard that before, right? We've heard that before. However, this look here is pretty significant. Now, why is that? Well, for me, the last hybrid that I had in my bags that were really the ones I trusted the most were the original Epics. All right, that was generations and generations and generations ago. And I'm pretty much a hybrid guy that, you know, once it works, it doesn't come really out of the bag. And I thought the Apex that came out that were very technologically packed were going to do that for me. And I had the Pro model. Not so much. I mean, they hit fine. They don't hit any better. So if they don't hit any better, why change, right? Now, the other Apex is probably where I should have went. However, the Super Hybrid came out, and I said, well, let's give that one a ride. So what is it all about in the Super Hybrid? Well, the Super Hybrid sports a titanium body, right? A titanium body. There you go. Titanium body, an SS21 flash face, and then the AI has done some work on the face, just like it has on the driver, just like it has on the 3-wood, just like it has on the other hybrids as well. It also sports the Ninja blades or the Velocity blades, and the Velocity blades you can see by those two little dashes right there. Now, what do those do? Those connect the top to the bottom so that you get more energy that goes from the face to the ball. So with the AI face and then these blades, you're getting probably the most forgiveness slash the most rebound that you can possibly get, and in a titanium body. Now the face on this is a bigger club. This is a bigger club at address. It looks, to me, it looks a little more friendly at address, and it sits, for me, just a touch closed if I'm looking down on it. Now, it will sit to the square and it will sit to the open if you sit on a flat surface. When I hold it, when I hold it the way I normally hold a golf club, it appears to set a tad closed for me. And that's okay, because most of my hybrids tend to go the other way, to my away, so it works. Okay, so what else does it come with? It also comes with the steel fiber FC 60 or 75 and 85. This one is the 75 in the F4, which is their stiff, and it also supports the Lambkin the Lambkin UTX grip in a nice gray color, sporting the chevron from Callaway. All right, so the last part of describing what's going on in the head is the tungsten weight setter in the back, and it's a significant amount of weight, and they've got them out at the edges, and that's for stability, so that it, you know, is like this. Now, that's so if you get off on the toe, that it doesn't swing wildly open or into the heels wildly shut. It stabilizes that, and I can attest that it does work. I did take it out, and I did do it outside, and I did get some on the toe, and they still went good, and they still went out. And you're going to see some in the testing here in a bit. All right, so that's basically the head, the shaft, the grip. Now, what did we find, right? What did we find out? Well, we've got spec, and we've got what I found. The spec was 40 1/4, and so was what I found. The swing weight, however, was spec'd at D4. I got D0. Okay. The lie angle was 58. I had 59. 1 degree. I'm not going to sweat that one. That could be measuring. And the lofts were 21 apiece. So it came out, it was actually pretty good. The stiffness in this one with the steel fiber was kind of unique in the fact that it actually was stiff, and I do like that one as well. So that's a pretty good setup as far as that goes. Now, let's go hit some golf balls. All right, let's check out what we're going to be doing here with the numbers. We've got 15 shots, and yes, some of them aren't very good, but with an average of about 210 to 220, which is my average shot. Okay, those are my numbers that I would get with a normal one. And we see here's the dispersion. It's not very tight, and that's the reason why I want to show you this 15 so that we could take a look at that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a series of the ones that were less than 200, which is not typical of my normal shots. What I was doing is trying to hit them far, like you see those guys on TXG, and it just wasn't working out for me very well. So when I calmed down, I started getting the ones I needed. Now we see something that I normally would do. And we're going to see some of the shots. Of course, I show you the best one at 220, 230. And this was a 4, which is certainly, it is landing far beyond where the other one would normally go. And so it retains the title of super, right? That's what we want to have, where there is super. And we're going through all the different ball flights. Now what I'm showing you here is this is how I hit them. That was my ball path, meaning that I was hitting them pretty good. Now what we're seeing here is the acceleration profiles, and the shaft was actually loading the way it was supposed to, accelerating through. And now some ball height. I'm just going to click right through these really fast. You know, on the average right around that 40 yards in the air, which is actually a pretty good height for a club. And then finally we come back to these and we're seeing that the spin rates were very consistent, somewhere in that 24-2500. And then I was having an average of a 1.44 smash factor, which is very much driver-like. So now that we've done the hitting and everything, the last part is, what do you think, right? This one's a keeper, right? This one is an absolute keeper. Now, why do I say that? Normally when we see these things super, and we see things that mean distance and all these other things, we tend to make them longer, right? We tend to make them longer, lighter, all these other things. And Callaway actually stayed away from that. They made them a standard length club, standard lie angles, standard length, or standard lofts. And the loft is, you know, they have two categories. They have a pro category and they have an average golfer category. I fall into that one. So the 4 will normally be 21, where in the pro category it was a 23. I had those in my Apex Pros. Again, they hit very well. They didn't hit as good as these, okay? Now, when I took them out and I hit these in real life, I had 5-6 shots in real life situations where I'm scoring. I had my dad out there with me, and I probably hit this thing 20 to 25 yards further than I hit the other ones, all right, including my other epic gamers. These things, it just went, all right? I caught it, some on the toe, some square. It both went up in the air very well, and it felt solid as a rock. It was just the kind of feel, the kind of look, everything I like about a club. Now, the big elephant in the room, the price tag, right? This has got a $399 price tag US. That's pretty stout for a hybrid, right? It's very stout. But basically, it's a small driver, right? So if you think of it that way. So if you guys are struggling with your driver because it's so big, so long, that kind of thing, or if you're struggling with your fairway wood, and this is if you struggle with fairway wood because it's so long and you're more of an irons type person, this guy is going to be a gamer for you for certain. Okay, for certain. I like the fact that it's got the taller face, so I don't feel like I'm going to get underneath the ball, whether I'm in the deep rough or even in on the fairway. It just sets really good for me. Okay, so all titanium, good face, AI, all the technology you see in a driver, fiber steel, fiber steel shafts, the lambkin grips. The ball does go far. All right, it does go far. Definitely a good look at a dress, definitely a good look in the bag. And, for me, I want one of these in my bag. So there's the review. Hopefully you like it. If you got any questions, put them in the show notes. And let's see your scores. Go low.